Hey y'all, this is a little bit different in that I am not at one of our food forest sites. As you can see, thank goodness, we did not get a public nuisance notice. But I'm at a lot on 44th Street. You see Lookout Mountain right over there, my car in the back. A pretty big lot that has been like this for as long as I've been coming to the Ella Library, which is right down the street over that way. This is a good sized lot. It goes way back to there. And we've been coming here for really just one reason. And it's this massive mulberry tree right here. As you can see, I don't know how old this tree is, but it's significant for a mulberry. It's hard to see the trunk because there's a bunch of English ivy and some privet growing up in there. But despite that, this tree produces a lot of fruit. I'll reach up there, one of the little mulberries. This year, I would not say it's a bumper crop, probably because of the late frost that we had that hit a lot of things, but it's still a decent amount. In previous years, we have picked, I'm not kidding, bucketfuls of fruit off of this tree. The lot that is around it, as you can see, it's mostly, well, grass and clover. And if I step over here, I don't know if y'all can see it, but in this clover, there are pollinators everywhere. There are at least a dozen different species. So there's a bumblebee over there. I don't know if you can see him. Making use of the clover and the narrow-leafed plantain, or lance-leafed plantain. But mostly the clover. And the clover in here is just incredible. It is super prolific. You can see there are houses alongside this lot. And if we go over to this one, these folks have an incredible backyard garden. Look at that. Which I imagine is benefiting from all of the pollinators and other insects that are using this empty lot. See their beans over there? Yeah, so it is just, oh, look at that. Look at this little fella. There he is. So you can see the bumblebees, but there's also a lot of other insects making use of this space. It's just incredible. You know, none of the plants in here are technically natives. These are all introduced plants. But in my opinion, at least, these are benign introduced plants, right? They produce pretty good nectar. A lot of insects make use of them. You know, if you're not going to have native plants, this is kind of what you would want to see. And I mean, it is incredible. There are so many insects right now. What I want to talk about real quick, and the reason I made this video is, as you saw at the beginning, this is considered a public nuisance. So the city has given the landowner, which is a whole nother story, a certain amount of time to presumably mow this to the ground. So cut down all of the clover and plantain and drive off all of the insects. Now, that's the whole story as to why that is, why the city is obsessed with, you know, destroying things. There's nothing unique about the city of Chattanooga, right? Like it's most cities in America. To the city, this is an empty lot. It is a public nuisance. It's an eyesore. In reality, it is right now just ecologically hopping. There is so much going on here. And without any real kind of human intervention, it has produced a lot of food that is available for people to eat just by itself with nothing further. So what I want to propose, and I don't really have a great answer to this right now, but what can we do to turn this from a public nuisance to being treated kind of for what it is? It is ecologically very rich within, you know, the limits of an empty lot. It's productive. It is already producing fruit, and it could do a lot more. I am not an expert in use of abandoned lots, which effectively this is. The property owner that's listed on the notice is something called, I believe, New Hope Church, which I have tried to find. There is no record of it other than in the property list. So whatever it was, wherever it existed, it seems to be totally insolvent and just no trace of it. So I really have no idea. I don't know the history of maintenance on this lot in the last couple of years. I assume that the city has been mowing it from time to time, and that's about it. But it would be amazing to not even do something with this, but just to kind of get it recognized and to do some degree of maintenance. I don't know. I don't really have a plan or proposal for you guys, but if anybody has any ideas, any suggestions, that would be wonderful. Please leave them in the comments or get in touch with me directly. So I will just leave you with a view of the bees. Let me see if I can get in on them here. Oh my goodness. Look at them go. All right, well, let's see what we can do for spaces like this and for other spaces around the city that are very similar, so that these stop being seen as public nuisances and we could recognize them for the ecological treasures that they contain. All right, thanks guys.